Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of television, including Spectrum and DIRECTV surrendered, the largest provider of cable TV and the largest provider of satellite TV in the United States, according to the numbers I have both given up and gone over to streaming. We'll tell you what's happening and what's next now that streaming is the default way, even if you're going to go through a major satellite or cable TV provider. Also, SpaceX has been launching a new rocket every about 2.38 days. And this is as they expand their Starlink internet service, now with over 7,000 satellites in space. And Frndly TV apparently is getting another price hike. It's only the second in the entire history of the streaming service. We'll tell you what's happening, when it will happen, and more with that. First though, a few things here. If you want to learn more about these stories and a whole lot more, it was a busy weekend. We'll cover that over at cordcuttersnews.com, and I'll put a link to each one in the show notes so you can read this story for yourself. Come up with your own opinions. I'd love to hear from you. If you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow, helping us help more people break free from the high cost of TV and still watch the shows they enjoy. All right, let's dive into it. So yesterday, DIRECTV made it official, the end of DIRECTV Stream, as they're consolidating their streaming into the DIRECTV brand. And that's it. You just go to directv.com and the streaming and all the TV packages are right there, all under DIRECTV. Much like what Spectrum has done, as they now lean into streaming first rather than traditional cable television. I'll get to that in a point. If you want to find out a lot more about that DIRECTV news, the end of DIRECTV Stream and more, I'll put a link up here in the corner, but also check out yesterday's video. I really dived in depth into that. But with this, really just is a moment where let's appreciate the fact that traditional cable television and traditional satellite television is on its way out. Even the providers that are the largest sellers of it would rather have you switch to streaming. Why is that? Well, it's cheaper for them. Let's just be honest. In the long run, they get to devote all their energy basically to the internet side. They don't have to, for cable, try to split it between internet and television. For satellite, it's a heck of a lot cheaper to do that than it is to keep putting satellites into space to stream it to you. With the growth of satellite internet from things like SpaceX, HugeNet, and other things like expansion of fiber, 5G home internet, and others, it's increasingly becoming a reality that satellite internet may not be needed like it once was. Now, yes, it's not perfect everywhere, but more internet options are coming. Amazon's launching their own satellites soon to start competing with SpaceX's Starlink service for home internet. So, cord cutters won, right? Well, okay, a lot of these packages are very similar. There's really not much different, for example, in the Spectrum TV packages that stream to you versus the ones that get to you through their traditional cable boxes. They are leaning in. They want you to switch over. I wouldn't be surprised that within 5 or 6 years, Spectrum and DIRECTV only offer streaming options. Spectrum probably faster than DIRECTV or with that. But we'll keep a very close eye on this. DIRECTV is making a big change here. But Spectrum already made this change. I expect more to do it. We're already seeing several cable companies also push their customers away from traditional cable TV to streaming. But I don't think that's necessarily a victory of cord cutting. It's just a change in delivery. The packages are the same with that. Increasingly what we're seeing is if you're not a sports fan, people are completely dishing those live TV packages and going to things like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Hulu, and the like. Or things like YouTube TV, which is anticipated in the next 5 years or so to become the largest provider of TV in the United States. We'll see. But for now, a historic thing has happened. The #1 cable TV provider and the #1 satellite TV provider have both now made streaming basically their main focus. All right, let's keep moving along. Speaking of launching satellites, SpaceX has been heavily ramping up its launches of satellites into space to try to make it SpaceX's Starlink internet service even faster and more reliable. Now with over 7,000 satellites covering the planet to offer high-speed internet. With this, they're averaging about 2.3 launches, or a launch every 2.38 days. So every 2.5 days or so, a satellite is going, or a launch is going to put satellites in space. Now this puts them on track to outdo last year's record, which was 138 launches, and this year they're on track to do more than 150 launches, and I expect that to even ramp up more. Now there is interesting, if the new Starship, if that gets underway and successfully everything tests and they're able to do everything they want, that would allow them to do a single launch to put a lot more into space. We'll see how that impacts the actual numbers, but keep an eye on it. More and more satellites go into space, bringing high-speed internet no matter where you are in the world. All right, if you're a fan of Frndly TV, the very cheap service with things like MeTV Tunes, the Hallmark channels, and a bunch of other channels, is going to raise its price on May 15th for the second time, from $7.99 to $8.99, according to multiple reports we've received from readers who've received emails with the information. There's one important note here: Frndly has not responded to our request for email on that, or for comment through email with that. But this would only be the second price in like the hike in the last, what, 6.5 years, something like that, since it launched with that. So it's not surprising they've gone up. In total, since the service has launched in 6 years, it's gone up $2 a month. Understandable price hike as content becomes more and more expensive for them. But if you're a Frndly subscriber, it won't take effect until after. Frndly does offer a yearly rate that locks in the price and gives you even a bigger discount on the monthly bill there. So for example, if you just renewed last week, you're not going to see this price hike until 2026 for that. Now, I always push, if you can, and you like a service and you know that, hey, this is something I pay for all the time, switching to the annual plan not only saves you monthly fees, but also helps protect you from price hikes, because, like I said, if you renew in March and the price went up in April, you have until next year until you see that price hike. So keep that in mind. All right, next story up. Dish is urging the FCC to stop ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC local stations from going dark during a blackout. So the FCC is asking for recommendation to rule changes. EchoStar, the parent company of Dish and Sling TV, are asking for the ability to continue to offer a ABC, CBS, Fox, or NBC affiliate during a blackout. They argue that these are publicly available free over-the-air channels, and during a blackout they should be able to continue to pull a signal in and offer it to their customers. Why is that important? If the FCC allows this, it basically strips local television stations of almost all of their negotiating power, probably resulting in them getting lower payouts than what they were hoping for in a potential talk like this. Currently, local TV stations are very aggressive in saying, well, if you don't give us exactly what we want, we're going to pull our content and blame you. Say you're the reason you're not getting it, because they won't pay us a fair rate for our content. Even though it's been argued that some TV stations are asking for extreme price hikes. We'll see how this goes. Just because it's being requested does not necessarily mean it will be approved, but Dish and Sling TV could get around and be able to continue to offer locals even during blackouts. Yes, I know Sling TV in most markets do not offer locals, but they do in some. All right, next up, Pluto TV is looking at testing more guide features. This new updated UI makes channel surfing a lot easier, where it will allow a mini channel guide, with an updated mini channel guide. As you are watching a show, you'll be able to pop up a small guide across the bottom and surf other channels to see what's available on Pluto TV in a way that they've had similar in the past. This is a different little user interface. I've sadly not been able to get photos myself of it, but Pluto TV has confirmed to us the change. A few things here. Pluto TV is heavily leaning into live channels, but they're also trying to make it easier for you to channel surf like you used to back in the day. It's basically, let's be honest, things like Freevee, Pluto TV, the Roku channel, Tubi are basically cable TV providers, but without the monthly fee. You get channels with ads just like you did through cable TV. Yes, it's not the same channels for the most part, but you get a lot. Keep an eye on them rolling out new features to try to make it improved and better soon. All right, next story up. Yes, MeTV Tunes is adding a classic 80s and 90s cartoon with the addition at some point this year of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, this was announced in January to come sometime in 2025. When is it's a guess. I don't know. I don't know when that's coming, but it recently received a lot of attention on TV. A lot of people talking about this channel coming and rediscovering the announcement from 2025, and we got a lot of comments or emails and messages about this, so I did want to just say yes. It was announced in January, not confirmed exactly when, other than it's coming this year. But it's great to see MeTV Toons continuing to add more content to their lineup. Alright, maybe we're all in the wrong job here, but Warner Brothers Discovery CEO made nearly $52 million in 2024. Is expected to do even better in 2025. According to a report from Variety, he saw a 26.5% increase. I wish I had a 26.5% increase every year. As he tries to continue to grow his networks, Warner Brothers seems happy enough to him to pay a lot. What do you think? $52 million a year to run Warner Brothers Discovery? Are they overpaying? Underpaying? Leave me a comment. Let me know. And lastly, some bad news here. Google is laying off hundreds of employees in its Android division, which includes a lot of stuff like Chrome browser, Android devices, Nest products, and for the purpose of us cord cutters, it also means a cut to the Google TV division. Now, very interestingly, they've been very quiet on who is leaving. We don't know, were these all from like the Chrome browser team, a Nest team? We know Nest recently, they cut back on the number of products they're offering, changing some partners there. How many people actually left from the Google TV team is unknown, but it is interesting to see Google cutting back from its Android division along one of its big corners there. We'll keep an eye on this story and let you know as we know more. I don't think too many left from Google TV from what I've seen, but it wouldn't surprise me if some did. Well, that's it for today. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Happy Monday when I'm posting this, if you're watching it there. I'll be back tomorrow with another video just like this. We post every Monday through Friday, cord cutting today. Plus on weekends, we post other videos, news, tips, tricks, reviews, and more. Plus breaking news videos all week long whenever they happen. Until next time, take care, be safe. I'll talk to you all again real soon.